And so sorry I'm late. You know, you really got to give props to Hollywood with all this costuming and makeuping. It really does take a team, a production. That's why they call it a production. But when you're a one alien show, you got to figure it all out on your own. But I'm happy, so happy to be here with you. I apologize, there's no excuse. Although I've come up with the solution for turning off the broadcast. See, I cut a little finger. We evolve as we go. That's what we do. But I just want to welcome you to Odyssey Hour here with me, Anna Nimitz, as your guide through the galaxy. I've just been so pleased around Bid Chat and see so many creative, amazing people just, bear everything that they know just for the betterment of humanity. I mean, how amazing is that? Singers, counselors, comedians, the lovely Brits. I've caught a few British people, just love listening to their accents, first of all. I believe Steve Webb, one of the Bid Chatters, fascinating guy, talks about his accident that led him to complete paralysis, and a really, really interesting, I don't think he calls it a near-death experience, but somewhat like a near-death experience type of journey that he went through, and just amazing to listen to. Everyone coming at you from so many different angles, and I'm no different, really, I don't think. Just here to meet new people, enjoy listening to your stories. Really, one of my favorite things to do is to encounter a new human being. And, I have to thank you too for joining me on Smile Train Week here on Bid Chat. There are just so many worthy causes that Bid Chat is a part of, people that they've partnered with, Smile Train included, making life-changing surgeries possible for children with cleft lip and palate. So amazing things that we get to be a part of just by being on this platform. So I'm so grateful to be a part of that. Why am I here though, really? Well, it comes down to observations that I've made about the human race. The general feeling in the air right now is just that, you hear people say the world's going to hell, and, people suck, and, things are just getting worse and worse. And I'd like to think that for as many people as there are who act out of ignorance or just lack of awareness and cause suffering for others, needless suffering, that there are just as many, if not more, beings who are concerned with changing that and making a positive difference in the lives of the people they come across. So you see that all over Bid Chat, and that's really exciting to me. One thing that motivated me to start broadcasting, and I'm basically a pretty introverted person outside of this realm. You won't see me attracting too huge of a following just for what quips and random sayings that I have to share on Facebook or Twitter. I'm really pretty silent on there. I'm more of an observer. And I did mention in my first video that I am a life coach, though. So, what motivated me was to bring whatever skill sets I have to the table when I can. So, yeah, it's hard, going between the realms of day jobba and the motherhood, but I'm going to use whatever time that I have to help whoever I need to connect with. I do understand that I won't connect with everybody, that my message won't resonate with everybody. Most people are going to think I'm insane, which in part I am. No, I'm kidding. I have a strong detachment from what other people think of me, if you can't tell already. But this leads me to tell you what my first major observation of your world is. It's that in 5,000 years approximately of recorded history, it appears to me that your race views itself as fractured subgroups that really pit each other against themselves and fight for world domination over each other. And I guess my question there is, what is it going to take? Really, what is it going to take for you to band together as one race? Are you really so different? Is my question. And in the land of Dejaba, where I work, my occupation is in the criminal justice field, and I spend a lot of time facilitating conversations, amazing conversations with ordinary everyday people. And it's stunning to me that regardless of how very different we may appear on the surface, that there's so much potential for connection among us. So I really, I want to challenge you to help me answer that first question, to that observation. What is it going to take for the human race to really recognize itself as one entity? And if you feel a little shy about talking to me on here, that's okay. I am kind of insane looking at the moment. But feel free to chime in on my Facebook page, Anna Nimitz. Like the page, and I really want to know what your thoughts are. What's the point? What is the point of all of this warring and really trying to keep up with the Joneses, whoever though the Joneses are? Who really wins in the end, right? So that's part of my motivation, is doing more than what I'm doing in day jobba. So if it's an hour a week that I spend on here just having the opportunity to start conversations and really look behind the curtain of the status quo, why continue to do what we've always done for thousands of years? The human race strikes me as such an intelligent, innovative, creative, if you look at this platform, just creative, caring people. And why is it that we can't step that up a little bit? We seem stalled in a lot of ways, right? Won't go into politics tonight. I think I'll save that for October. Don't want to get off on a bad foot with anyone. Not that things are going so great, but that's my main question right now, is what needs to change? And I know that it's not simplistic answer. It could be a variety of realms of human experience that we need to work on. And the amazing thing is that each of you are already doing that, whatever you're doing out there in the world. All of the bid chatters that, I'm in the great company of, each of them is working on a piece of this puzzle. That's one of the greatest things I learned in one of my women's studies classes, is that we don't have to worry about saving the entire world ourselves. Each of us is a part of the larger whole. So that being said, um, what more can you give? How much more time from your week can you make available, just to lift someone up, right? I think that's what it's all about, is just to lift one more person up, uh, change perspectives, right? And that's really all I want to do, um, is to play with perception. It trips all of us up, perception. So I want to have fun with that. And as you can see, I'm already having fun with that. It's really a dream come true to me to come home from work and, like a cray-cray, smear my face with silver paint, slap on a wig, wire myself up, get my wings on, and talk to you. That's what I want to do with my life. That's what I want to do with my Friday night. My free time, this is what I want to do. Because what is it going to take for you to band together? And that's the main question, really. And there's so much we can talk about with this. Uh, Unlimited possibilities, really. I come across so many stories every day, just being working in a counseling capacity. And of course, I have bigger dreams. I'd love to be a life coach, do one-on-one coaching with people. Haven't quite figured out my pricing or whether I want to dive full time into that. It's probably a 2017 type of thing for my lifestyle, but it's something that I'd love to do. It's something that I've been trained to do. So if you have any questions about receiving coaching in a one-on-one capacity, go ahead and private message me off of my page too. I'd love to start a conversation with you one-on-one. And of course, I'm also down to coach you on the show. Of course, there's a little bit of a technological learning curve there. I understand at this moment that I can extend a conversation by 1 minute, and I could choose, 5 minutes of call time. So that might actually not be conducive to having an entire session on here. But it could be the start of a debate, right? It could be the start of exploring your inner worlds, which is what I'm really, really fascinated with. A lot of the research behind the programs that I teach at work involve the idea that the way that we think and the way that we feel ultimately affects the way that we act. And it all starts inside, right? That's an internal to external movement that we're seeing. So I'd love to accompany anyone on a journey to explore that, because we know life doesn't come with instructions. And it's always helpful when we have a mentor or a guide to kind of partner with us and be a mirror for us, really, to take us in a new direction. So if I don't have any callers today, uh, thank you for taking the time to listen to me and be with me. Uh, I part of my motivation is that I found myself being more of a consumer in my life than a producer. And I want to be a producer. I want to be a creator, someone who takes everything that's available to me, all the resources that I have. Obviously, this is not like a Comic-Con, quality costume here, but I want to make the most of what I have and give what I can. And coming home and watching Criminal Minds or binge watching Limitless, as awesome as that is, just wasn't cutting it for me. So, I mean, to be real, that's what I'm going to do after this broadcast. I'm going to sit down and watch me some Limitless. But what I'm saying is, in my world, I have a little bit of time for everything, and that includes you. So, thanks for watching. I'm really looking forward to what you have to say about that main question that I posed, which was, Jeremy!
Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm great.
It's so good to see you.
Yeah, it's so awesome to meet you.
Good to meet you too, finally.
Yeah.
No, I'm just listening to what you're saying. My cat's here. He's right here. He wants to say hi. This is Steve.
Hi.
Steve.
What's his name?
Steve.
Hi, Steve.
I don't know. He likes to join conversations.
That's adorable. I'll have to let my cat out to do that. I was afraid that he'd jump on my wings and I'd be doing this.
Oh,
the whole time. So
I was glad you mentioned your wings because I couldn't tell that they were wings. I thought that it was like regalia or something. They're great.
Awesome.
So I wanted to ask you about where do you see that people can start to make to participate in community and sort of get out of whatever sort of space that we're in that puts us at odds with everybody else? Like, where does community begin from your perspective, do you think?
That's a great question. As an introvert, I've always had a sort of internal focus. So, those songs like Michael Jackson's Man in the Mirror and I guess that's the only one I can think of. But it all starts inside for me. Just the ability to reflect and understand your inner workings and your relationship to the world. What is your orientation to the people around you? In my community today, we had a bit of a scare where one of our local high schools had a bomb threat / shooting scare.
Oh, wow.
So that kind of, it ruffled my world because I have children and one in high school. So I guess where I'm going with that is that it actually ended up being rumors blown out of proportion stemming from one child threatening another who had been bullying that child. So I think in those situations, we begin to see that how affected we are by each other, right? Mm-hmm. I think half of the high school population did not show up for school today, even though it had been resolved as, a one-to-one incident and criminal threat on a smaller level. Mm-hmm. But it just goes to show, how affected we are by social media, how technology really has changed our lives, but has also highlighted our interpersonal struggles, just on the microcosmic level, how we affect each other one-on-one. And it comes down to what we feel threatened by, right? Terror management theory states that we're going to take on an us versus them mentality when we feel threatened by a new group. Mm-hmm. So, on an individual level, I feel that we need to assess, what is it that we're so afraid of? Are we afraid of people who look differently from us, who think differently, people who don't understand our emotions or don't interpret them the way that we do? You know, and it's such a, it's pretty complex, but for me, it's simple at the same time that, you know, as soon as we achieve some sort of peace in our own inner being, as far as who we really are, that we might relate a little bit better to each other.
Yeah, it makes sense that we would need to be whole on the inside before we aren't, you know, so that we're not so fractured on the outside. And
it's a great observation.
It's a good place to start, and I like that because it's something we can do something about. It's so intimate and it's within us, and I like that. I only have 10 more seconds left here, but I wanted to, I know the time flies. I want to thank you for your show. I'm really glad to see you broadcasting.
Thank you so much, Jeremy. Amazing question you just posed to me. You know, something I'm gonna love to give deeper thought to following the broadcast. I just appreciate you through and through. And my vision is blurring. It's getting hot in here. It's getting hot in here. So take off all your clothes. I can't wait to take off all my clothes. Like I said, I'm going to be watching Limitless after this. But before that, I'm going to be letting all of this silver paint run off my face. I need to shower. That's what I'm saying. And inevitably, I'm going to be singing Rihanna's Umbrella because I'm covered in silver paint. But any other callers? You know, I really enjoy what just happened. That right there is what I'm talking about. Jeremy calling in, giving me amazing perspective. I know each of you has that, just a different way to see the world. And I can't wait to see what unfolds on Facebook and Twitter. If you want to shout out at me on Twitter, I'm No Limits Nimitz on there. So I'll learn how to use it if you actually talk to me. That's my commitment. But for the most part, I'm in the realm of Facebook, and I'm really looking forward to talking with you. There's so much to talk about and so much that we can do together, right? To just make this place a better place to be. Much love to you, humans. And now I have my fingertip. Can you see it? Yeah, I'm gonna use this to stop the broadcast, unless I have any other callers. Where you at, though? Where you is? Okay, so there's nobody. But oh, I see that I have 11 views, 13 views. Oh my gosh. And 4 likes? Seriously? That's amazing. I'm so honored. And I can't wait to see you again next Friday. All right, and I'll meet you on Facebook too. So you cats have a great weekend. Enjoy it, live it up, and I can't wait to talk with you.